All right, good evening, ladies. I'm sure we're all celebrating. Donald Trump has now become the 47th president of the United States. In today's video, I want to explain exactly what this means in regards to crypto, what I think is going to happen over the next 3 to 6 months. And yeah, spoilers alert, I think it's going to be fun. Firstly, all of my normie friends, I don't know if it's just me, but I don't think it is just me, but all of my normie friends are still pretty much still completely disinterested in crypto and not really asking. Like, I'm getting a few small messages, but the floodgates have definitely not opened, and they're not going crazy asking me what coins should they get. Like, I'm getting a couple of questions, but you know, I think it's still very much early days in this bull cycle in regards to going from a PvP environment to a PvE environment. But I do think the spark has just ignited, and Bitcoin breaking all-time highs, Donald Trump in presidency, liquidity freeing up all across the world. I think we're in for a nice time. So obviously Bitcoin has just broken all-time highs again. It's not a huge pump into like 80K. Like, what you want for a real full all-time high break is, you know, pump well beyond the all-time high, or at least pump beyond it, test the all-time high as support, and then go ahead and fully break it for once and for all. Because, you know, we had an all-time high break in March and it was kind of a bit lackluster and didn't lead to the full breakout that a lot of people were expecting. Now, I do think this is finally the breakout that is actually going to be the breakout. It is the break of the all-time high that is actually going to be the breakout. And we can see from this chart that memes have yet, like, obviously meme coins have been the biggest trade of this cycle, but even still they haven't broken out. They haven't reached the all-time highs that they set in March. This is like a meme index from Web3 Quant. Obviously, you should be following both these guys on Twitter. So Trump won the election. What does that actually mean in regards to crypto? Because he made a huge number of promises. I don't think he's going to keep them all, but even if he keeps some, like, even if he doesn't keep any, we know at least the whole crypto crackdown 2.0 is going to end. We know the SEC is going to be a little bit more tolerant. We know there's not going to be this whole war on crypto that was being spearheaded by Elizabeth Warren. We have an idea at least that is going to come to an end. Like, last time that Donald Trump was in presidency, he was actually anti-crypto. He was anti-Bitcoin, if you remember. Now, Donald Trump has his own NFT project, and he has tens of millions worth of crypto that we know about. Potentially has more in storage somewhere that we don't know about. So let's quickly run through what the Donald Trump presidency means for crypto. So firstly, there's a possibility that Bitcoin becomes a strategic reserve asset. I'm going to talk about that a bit more in depth later. I don't think that's very likely, but you know, even if he's talking about it, that could potentially pump the price of Bitcoin. You know, there's 3 months until he actually becomes president. I think the inauguration's in January. So between now and then, like, it's green, it's clean sailing all the way until, like, him being inaugurated will be another sell the news event. But until then, the markets are going to be looking towards that in anticipation and potentially pump into that, because if he makes Bitcoin a strategic reserve asset, or even says he might do that, then other countries are going to look and try and front run that and be like, okay, well, if the US is going to make Bitcoin a strategic reserve asset, we should probably get some too. So there could be this whole arms race going on, but yeah, we'll talk about that in a minute. The other thing he promised was that he would fire Gary Gensler on the first day. Gary Gensler is the head of the SEC, who's been extremely anti-crypto and just putting in these really unclear laws about what's allowed in crypto and what's a security and what's not a security. So after this, we could see that most tokens, instead of being probably securities, could be classified as probably commodities. And that's going to open up the floodgates. We can already see the top 100, in the top 100 index of all the coins, the best performers are all the DeFi protocols that have real revenue. Because all these coins are basically, before Donald Trump presidency, these were all just basically meme coins. Like, the only thing you could do with them is vote on governance proposals. So essentially they were meme coins because they were in no way tied to the actual revenues of these DeFi platforms. However, we can see all of them are up at like 30% today, because now they're going to be able to turn on revenue sharing or turn on buyback and burn, which is kind of like security-esque. Potentially memes aren't the only play for the rest of the cycle. Obviously memes have been the only play for this part of the cycle for a number of reasons that we're not going to get into, but one of the main reasons being that they're definitely not securities. So like you can't really sue a meme coin. There's no like Doc's team behind it, there's no revenue, there's no cash flow, there's no promise of returns to investors. Whereas all these VC coins, all these DeFi coins that have all these protocols with real revenues, real cash flows, you could definitely see if they were to distribute some of that revenue and some of those profits with the holders of those coins could be classified as securities. So that's why they're pumping today. And I think this is really bullish for basically any sort of utility coin for the rest of the cycle. So I'd obviously be looking, well not obviously, but me personally, I'm looking at AI coins, I'm looking at deep in coins, and I have videos on both of these, so check those videos out if you're interested. As well, also Solana DeFi coins. So deep in, AI, and Solana DeFi. And I've done videos on all of these, so I think there's a video on Camino and there's a video on Radium if you're interested in Solana DeFi. This could also bring in a lot of innovation because founders won't need to spend so much time on legal issues. There won't be so much worry about getting sued by the SEC. So they can focus on their business, they can focus on innovation, and the US can become, instead of being one of the most hostile places for crypto, can once again become one of the most crypto-friendly places in the world. It also means it's going to be easier for Coinbase. Like Coinbase aren't going to be getting sued. They're also going to be able to list more coins. They're going to be able to list more shitcoins without worry, and that's probably bullish for Coinbase stock. And one of the most exciting things for me personally of Donald Trump's presidency is it's very likely that we're going to get a Solana ETF within 3 to 6 months, potentially in Q1 of 2025 or Q2. There's already been Solana ETFs filed, but obviously the SEC have stopped them. So once Donald Trump comes into presidency, fires Gary Gensler and puts this new woman in, I forget her name, but she's very much pro-crypto. It's very likely we're going to see a Solana ETF and probably other ETFs down the line as well. And with the Solana ETF, I'm quite confident that Solana should easily get to $1,000 within a year's time. And I know that's extremely bullish to some people, but you know, I think Solana is going to potentially flip Ethereum now and make its way up to those higher 3-digit marks. And I was actually one of the first people to say Solana would flip Ethereum. I said that like over a year ago before anyone else. Just want to set the record on that. Now a few people are saying it, and I say by the end of the cycle, a lot of people will be saying it. Do I think it happens? I probably put it as a bit of a toss-up. I'm not guaranteeing that would happen, but you know, once everyone's saying Solana's going to flip Ethereum, that's probably when you want to be thinking about starting to sell your Solana. Anyway, that's further down the line. Keep following me, make sure you're subscribed, and I'm going to tell you exactly how I'm playing the entire cycle. What do I think for the next 3 to 6 months? How do I think Bitcoin's going to perform? Well, we can already see the future on Bitcoin's performance. If you're looking at this chart, it looks eerily similar to Bitcoin's current chart. And this is the chart of MicroStrategy. And yeah, basically it was having this chop, but then it absolutely ripped out. And I think that's what's going to happen to Bitcoin. I think 100K by the end of the year is very possible, if not within 6 months. So if you didn't realize by now, I'm very bullish over the next 6 months or so. I think Bitcoin's going to absolutely rocket from here. I think altcoins will follow. We're finally going to have our altcoin cycle, or our alt cycle that people have been waiting for, because you know now alts are allowed to exist. And meme coins won't be the only good performing sector in my opinion. Although I do think memes are probably going to be still one of the best performing sectors. But I don't think it needs to be the place where you need to put all your focus. I think if you're into coins that have utility, that coins that have, you know, fundamentals behind them as well, I think they're going to do well as well, thanks to easier regulatory regime. So does that mean you should take on an absolute huge amount of leverage and go 100x long on Bitcoin? Yes, it does. You should absolutely do that and take out huge loans to buy as much crypto as you can. I'm just joking, but I have no idea what's going to happen in the very short term. Obviously, things are going crazy today with Trump being elected. So just be careful. Probably not the time to open massive leverage longs or positions. But if you're sidelined, if you have most of your money in USDC or you're not investing in crypto, I kind of think the train is leaving the station, like I've been saying on Twitter. And yeah, obviously I'm going to be looking at altcoins, I'm going to be looking at meme coins, and if you want to get in my up-to-date plays, my up-to-date investments, join my free Telegram. And yeah, that's all, just a quick update on what I think is going to happen over the next few months. Thank you so much for watching, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.